are under the age of 18 and you are watching this video, please stop now. This content is not intended for you. Hey everybody, it's TMIKA and I'm here with the final process video. This is part 3 of 3. If you haven't checked out the gift basket and the trinket box that I made, this was part of a collaboration that was hosted by Carolina's Creations called Dollar Tree DIY Valentine Gift Ideas. I will put that link in the video as well as the other links from the previous process videos. So today we're focusing on that cute little mailbox with the altered ornaments. So let's go ahead and get started with the items that I used from the Dollar Tree. So I am starting out with this cute little Valentine mailbox. Also this set of ornaments, I think they come in a pack of 4 or 5. And then the foam brushes and also a package of dice. I'm going to be using some Waverly chalk paint from Walmart. I believe I got this from Walmart. I love using the chalk paint. It dries fast. That's the #1 thing, but it has a really nice coating. So I went ahead and started with the first layer of the hearts. I'm going to end up doing 3 coats. It dried, like I said, in between coats. By the time I got done with the 3rd heart, it was time to go ahead and cover the first ones because this is a plastic coating. So unless you rough it up a little bit, the paint kind of sits on top for the first layer. But don't worry, it dries fast. Go ahead and get that 2nd layer. And if you want it really, really crisp and white, you can do a 3rd layer. But after the 2nd layer, it was just fine. So by the time I got done with that 6th one, I was ready to start painting the other ones all over again. So it went really, really fast. It really only took maybe 5 minutes to do. If you're having a problem with waiting or you needed to go a little bit faster, of course, tap it with your heat tool, which I end up doing at the end. But it was just going so fast, I didn't really need to do it in between the times. So you can stop at a 2nd coat, but again, I did 3 coats. So I'm going to go ahead and set those aside while they dry, and I am going to work on the mailbox. I end up coating this mailbox 2 times because I'm going to wrap some digital paper around it, but I wanted to cover up all of the places that had that hot pink color on it, which is a pretty color, but I didn't want it on the project that I was doing. So I tapped it with the heat gun in between coatings and went ahead and did that 2nd coating, and it was good to go. I did touch up the touch marks, my finger, my thumbprints. Okay, I got them kind of everywhere, so I went over and touched up just a little bit to make sure that that gets a nice clear, a nice good coating on it, because again, I am going to put pattern paper on the top, and I just kept touching it. Now I went over the hearts one more time. Look how crisp those hearts are, just to make sure they were super dry, and I pushed them off to the side. They were ready to be altered. So I took the digital paper, the same paper I've been using throughout. I think it's the heart collection. I'll put the link down below in the description box, and I just measured it just to see, you know, where I needed to cut it at. So I wanted to put it over the top of the mailbox, and I also wanted to do a separate little strip for the opening of the mailbox and the pattern paper underneath as well. So I wanted really the whole box covered and then have the white showing from the chalk paint. So now that I've cut out all those pieces to the desired length and width, I'm going to go ahead and take that extra heart. I originally tried to spray this with some Rust-Oleum spray paint, and it didn't look how I wanted it to look. So that's why I went back and painted the other hearts with the chalk paint. So I had this extra heart, and I'm using it to trace it so that I could add pattern paper to the front of the heart. So I had to go back because it is a hanging ornament. I just used my little snippers there, cut off the part so that I can have a complete heart, and then I just traced that out. So that's what I'm doing here, and I know that I need to do that 3 times. So I wanted to have 1 heart size in 1 pattern paper, and then an offset heart size in that alternate pink chevron paper that's on the side. So once I got the size that I wanted for this heart, I cut it down and then used the heart as a template for the pink one. And because I didn't want them the same size, I did trace the same template out, but as you can see, I went in a little deeper so it could be just a little bit smaller to offset. Just a little cheat / lazy way. Now we're back at the mailbox, and super easy from here, guys. well, everything is easy. It's just a little bit more time consuming. I just made sure that that fit where I wanted it to fit. See, I didn't have to paint the middle of the mailbox. Look how stark white that is reflecting off the camera. All I did was add some hot glue to the edges and then get that secure down how I wanted it. And I wanted to have a little bit of a border, so that's why it's a little bit plain at the bottom. And it's using the paper I was able to stretch it. And then I just attached the other half with the hot glue. Put it on top. Easy peasy. You can use hot glue as long as you smooth it out fairly quickly. It doesn't become lumpy. So just make sure you're careful with it and try not to cover too much of an area at one time. But yeah, hot glue on this type of surface is fine, as long as you catch it to spread it out before it starts clumping up on you. And of course you had to do the little piece separately because otherwise you wouldn't be able to open up the mailbox. So I did that separately, and then I added pattern paper to the bottom or the underneath of the mailbox because I'm going to be able to have it stand up off the desk. So, and that's where the dice comes in. So I wanted the pattern paper to be down there as well. Now when you open the mailbox, you will see a little bit of that pink when you open it. But as far as when it's closed, you don't see it. But you feel free to go ahead and chalk paint the inside of that as well. And then I used the leftover of that pattern to kind of do the front and back, that half oval design. Use the rest of that to cover that up as well. I was scrolling through the long, relaxing aisles of the Dollar Tree looking for something that I can put on this package or this box as feet. And I couldn't find anything until I went down the game aisle. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can use dice. It's just perfect. The problem with it, I didn't want to keep the dice the little black holes, so I was trying to figure out a way to cover them up, and all I did was add hot glue to 3 of the sides. One, we don't need them underneath because we're going to glue it, so just make sure you get some pattern paper, you add the hot glue to 3 of the sides, and then you stick it onto the box. So it went fairly quickly. It took like 6 minutes to do all 4 of these dice from the beginning to the end, so not too bad. But I did them in 4 at a time, cut them up, do the same thing, repeat, and then hot glue them to the box. This step is completely optional. You don't have to have feet on your box. I just thought it would look kind of cool to put them on there. So as you can see, the 3 sides are covered with coordinating pattern paper, and the bottom is not. You can cover the bottom if you want to, but the bottom will be on the base on whatever you're standing on, so nobody's gonna see that either. So you really just need to do the 4 sides and you're good to go. So I placed them where the box can stand evenly, and be sure when you're doing it to not put it on that little lip, otherwise it just would be odd when you're trying to gift it. It would just be odd. All that's left to do is decorate at this point. I added some gold and white trim lace all around the perimeter. And again, remember to stop it right before you get to the little lever and cut out that own piece of lace or the front part. If you're going to do that separately so that the hinge can open. And then I wanted to add a little bit of the gold rope to kind of finish off the top of the trim and do the same thing. You can decorate to your heart's content. I used some more of that burlap Easter ribbon, and I decided not to do a bow because it would make it too bulky. Instead, I cut out 2 pieces, and then I made like a faux bow where I trimmed off, made a banner on each of the sides, kind of pinched it together and made a cute little bow to go on the box. I think it turned out really, really cute. I made 1 for each side. I added hot glue to kind of pinch it together, and then I took a little scrap of the burlap and wrapped it around to finish it off like we normally do paper bowls. I thought it would be kind of nice to kind of bring that gold trim from the bottom to the top, and then it looks kind of empty up there, so I just added 3 little rope pieces of that gold rope right to the top. Now I added a flower from my stash to each side, and also the bell from the Dollar Tree, and then I finished it off with a little bit of gold stickles. So there's a bell hanging from each of the sides, and remember from yesterday, that is like that doorknob hanger that I used from the trinket box. Had 2 pink bells left. So now it's time to put these hearts together. They are so crisp, and I love them. I love them. So you can stuff these things with cute little trinkets from your stash, flat back pearls, beads, lace, trim, ribbon, like a lot of little things, doodads can go into this box. So lots of little things can go into this box for a little fun surprises for the recipient. So now I'm just hot gluing my little offset pieces that I have here. The first one I have is that black and white XOXO creates a nice contrast. And then I'm going to add that pink chevron right on, it's like center right of it, just offset it just a smidge. I thought it looked super, super cute, and I'm just using hot glue. They can handle it. And then this ribbon I got from the Dollar Tree. I had this in a haul. All I'm doing is angling it and shoving it through that ornament hole, and I'm going to fuss with a bow a little bit. You guys don't need to see all that, but I end up putting a cute little bow, trimming off the little edges so the hangover as prettily as I can make it. So yeah, once I get the bowl to my desired look, or as best as I could get it, I added the sentiment to it, that gold sentiment from the Dollar Tree. I love these things. They are fun, and like I said, they're always useful. So I add one to the front. And I completed the other two. There they are, absolutely gorgeous. I love them so much. And 3 of them fit perfectly inside my little mailbox. I was originally going to try to stuff it with tissue paper, but that was asking too much. So perfectly will fit 3 of them right to the edge. Close the top, and the recipient will open it up and get a spillage of gorgeous goodness. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed these process videos for all of the projects from the hop. The first one was the DIY Valentine basket. The second one was that altered trinket box. And of course, we're going to finish with the mailbox with the Valentine ornaments. If you like this video, please like it, leave me a comment, and be sure to check the links in the description box below. Don't forget to come back later to see if you're the recipient of the prize from the original hop video. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.